Hey Aries, this is your general tarot reading for Aries, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of May. Aries, let's do as we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. There's four come out. And in the meantime, as we get all these cards out, we will talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So we've 4 cards there, yeah. So we're leaving behind Aries season, and I hope you had a great birthday, by the way. I hope you were spoiled rotten. We leave behind Aries season, still feeling the effect of the 2 full moons, March and April, in Libra. And Aries, there could have been a real moment where you were so confused about a relationship between you and your partner, you and a friend, you and your boss or somebody else. You were so confused and things were getting really lost in translation. They were feeling one thing and you were feeling an entirely different thing. And maybe it was them who kind of pushed you a little bit, triggered you, and forced you into such a state of emotional confusion that you had to just turn on them. And there might have been an argument, there might have been well, what the hell is wrong with you? What's going on? Why are you focusing on me and all the things I'm doing wrong? What's happening here? You know, why are we so far apart from each other on 2 different sides of the fence here? So you could have gone in for it and really tried to clear up some of that confusion, Aries. And I get the feeling you did. But I also get the feeling that it was probably so kind of full on that there's the feeling of, well, what now? What do I do with this now? Do I apologize? I don't feel I should. I feel I was right to say the things I said. Do I feel I should back down? Is that what they're expecting me to do? But yet I feel I was right. I was right to air my grievances. I was right to say what I said because it's how I felt. They were confusing me. And, you know, they shouldn't have done that because they shouldn't have done it to Aries because, I mean, did they not know that I was going to kind of bite back a little bit here? If they were going to give me those vibes, give me that kind of attitude, they should have known I was going to face off here with them. But now what? It's left me all uneasy and all unsettled, and I'm still trying to figure out how to fix this or how to make it okay. And yet at the same time, I don't want to go backwards into the way it used to be. And there's a feeling of I have gained ground here and I am going to hold on to that ground and I'm going to stand up for myself. But I first have to figure out how to do that. So it's that thing. I will not back down and I will not lose the ground that I've made, but haven't a clue what to do with this new ground. But you will figure it out, Aries. You will figure it out because I get the sense that whoever this person was, be it your partner, friend, family member, work colleague, whoever, neighbor even, that there was this thing of it had to be cleared, it had to be said, it had to be purged. And I do get the feeling, because we have the full moon in Scorpio on May 18th, that this other person is kind of waiting for you to apologize or for you to maybe do what they would deem as predictable behavior. They want you to feel all upset, all cringed, all, oh my God, they're giving me the cold shoulder now. Maybe I should try to build bridges. It's almost like they are waiting on you to go back to the old way. But I feel you're not going to do it. But I do believe that this other person will, throughout the month of May, consistently and maybe subtly try to bring you to heel, bring you back, so that they might have some level of control even over you. And look, as this card hops out, the moon, shady behavior, people plotting in the background. Yeah. Now, I don't want this to get all weird and dark. As I'm focusing on this, I think you have the upper hand. I need to make that very clear, Aries. But I think whoever you have been dealing with, where you kind of told them exactly where they need to go and told them that you're not putting up with their shit anymore, I think that they are silently at home now or wherever, trying to figure out how to get you back, how to win you back, and how to get you back, as I said, into being predictable to them, because they don't like that you have the upper hand here. And they might be nice and smiling, and there may have been an apology, or yes, I understand, let's all be friends again, or let's work through this, it'll be fine. But I feel that they haven't let this go. And I do believe before the month is over, they will try again to gain some level of control over the situation, and maybe do it through very emotional, manipulative ways. But Aries, I feel also very strongly that you are not going to lose the ground that you've won. You're determined. I get the kind of vibe here that even though there still is confusion, worry, lots of things going round and round in your mind, being a little bit over stressed by trying to figure certain things out, too much information, too many things to figure out, I feel that I do still feel that when it comes to this person, you will kind of look at them and say, look, I might have many things going on in my mind. I might have a lot to be thinking about, but you're not one of them. You're not one of them. I'm not going to play this game with you anymore. It's games, it's gameplay. Definitely gameplay, and you are not having it anymore. You're walking away. Now, when I say you're walking away, for some of you, you could really be saying, enough, bye, sayonara, ciao, 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 ciao. But for some of you, the relationship might still stay, but it's more of a case of, I've seen your games, I've seen the emotional manipulation, and you can keep trying it. I get a kind of a sense of brazenness here with you, Aries, saying, you can keep doing it, but every time you do it, I'll just turn my back and ignore you until you learn to behave better. You're like, those dog handlers. I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but it's like the energy of you realizing that they need to be retrained in how to approach you. So that could be a relationship where it's almost like I will ignore your bad behavior, and every time you behave well with me, I will reward that. I don't know why, but that's the feeling I got with this energy here. So it's good. You're not being lured back and manipulated by this person, it seems. You can still keep a relationship with them, but as I said, you won't go back to the old way of doing things. Now, Taurus season always represents money for you, because it's in the second house. If the sun in Taurus, May 4th, the new moon in Taurus, May 6th, Mercury in Taurus, and May 15th, Venus, the ruler of Taurus, in Taurus, all in your second house. So they're all in there helping you to bring a better sense of how to multiply all the good things in your life. Money. It's like, let's stop, let's be practical, let's look at the money I earn, let's look at my spending, and let's see how I can make more of this. I might have spent a little bit too much over my birthday season buying myself nice gifts, and then I look at my bank account and say, well, okay, I'm glad my birthday is only once a year. But now you're kind of saying, I'm going to get a better handle on this. Definitely. And you're feeling more confident. Second house is where we draw a lot of personal energy from. The way that we can build up our confidence, our self-esteem. And I think that's also helping between you and this other person who might be trying to manipulate you or come back towards the end of the month and say, I'm in a drama, I'm in a crisis, I need you to come to help me. And you'll say, okay, I've got more self-esteem and self-worth now to be able to deal with this situation. I'll help you. But again, don't think that I'm going to go back into the old ways, the old patterns, the old relationship. Once I help you, you can be sure that I'm going away again, or I'm going to go back and do my own thing again. So it's kind of very strong like that. But your confidence is right up this month, Aries. It is right up there. So keep holding your ground. Keep steady, keep strong, keep using this month to build and build and build your happiness and your confidence, and do not let anybody knock you off balance. Do not let anybody knock you off balance. I also get the sense here, Aries, that I feel I need to say to you that as you are getting more confident this month, remember, every time somebody gets confident, there is always somebody in the shadow who is not as confident, who might be weak, and who might not like that you're plowing ahead and that you're feeling good in yourself, and they might try to bring you down out of their own sense of insecurity, their own fears. And what I'd say to you here, Aries, is keep confident. Don't engage with verbal battles with them, because they might win. If they drag you down into the muck, being little pigs that they are, they will win the fight because they're used to fighting dirty. They're used to fighting in the mud. So keep high, keep risen above all of that, and don't be brought down to their level, no matter what they come at you with. Because part of Mars being in the third house is also learning how to stand your ground, how to debate, and how to give as good as you get in an argument. But it's also the energy of being able to understand where you give your arguments, where you give your words. So use this. When you see somebody maybe getting a little bit tricky with their words, trying to lure you back, trying to be a bit manipulative, or really at times trying to be downright shady and shitty, don't get drawn into it. Leave them to wallow in the mud. Leave them alone. And you know, really, they could be learning from you this month, Aries. They can't get their own confidence together, so they try to steal it from you. And confidence isn't something you can actually steal. Confidence is something you have to earn. You've earned it. But they're so dumb that they think they can just take it from you. Or worse, they know that they can't have confidence, so they just try to bring you down to their level. Just keep holding your ground. And learn with the energy of Mars in the third house that not every battle is one that you need to go into. And not every battle is worth fighting. And not every argument is worth triggering a response from you. Just leave them alone. Leave those little piggies alone down there in their muck, you know, and get on with the business of being confident and strong. Now, Mars, your ruler, does move on May 16th into Cancer, into the fourth house, as this card came out. And it's also in there, the fourth house is where the North Node for you is. It's the where destiny and karma needs to be played out here in some way, shape or form. And for you, fourth house is where you live, your home, your family. But it's also a lot to do with your personal reactions to situations, being triggered by things. If you're very calm, and if you do finally learn the lessons of the third house, which is that you don't have to be triggered by every argument, you don't have to be triggered by every phone call where somebody does something shady or says something tricky, where you don't have to be drawn into it. Then when you enter the fourth house, you can be at peace in yourself and enjoy that space and enjoy being happy in your own emotions. You know, where you don't get triggered. Now, of course, with Mars going in there, Mars is the one who likes to bring all that fight up and to battle and anything that is blocking an easy path. When he does enter the fourth house, you might find that family members, people that you really deeply care about and love, your tribe, they might trigger you emotionally in some way. Now, positively and negatively, that they might trigger you negatively by, you know, repeating old family shit that usually comes up, and they might do it in a way where they know that you'll get angry about it, and they might say, oh, there's Aries again, losing their shit over something. So don't get triggered by negative family stuff. But also don't get triggered too by being kind of homesick or looking at people from your past and saying, oh, I wish I was there again. Or, like that kind of romanticizing or idealizing the past. Remember, you've left the past behind. You can still keep the good memories, hold those wonderful souvenirs of the good times that you had. But it doesn't mean you have to be triggered or drawn to go backwards in your life. So if you find that somebody enters your life and says, what are you doing living in the city? Why don't you come back home where you're happier? Didn't we have good times? You can say, yeah, but that was then. I'm moving forward with my life. I'll always treasure my past, but I can let it go and keep it as a happy memory. So memories of the past is going to be very strong for you this month too, Aries. Positive and negative, and trying to make sense of it. You might be faced again with some negative childhood stuff, negative programming from your family, and getting all angry and agitated and freaked out with family members saying, why was our family life like that? Why did you raise me like that? Why did you not help me when I was at my lowest? Why did you laugh at me when I was going through a hard time? And so a lot of that shit might come up and you might get very triggered and angry about it. So just remember, Aries, we keep going round and round in different cycles, and our job is to master this. So by the time you come around to this family issue and the triggering that might come up from old friends even, just be calm, be cool, because Mars can be calm and cool. In fact, that's why he always wins as a warrior. A warrior isn't always bloodthirsty and ready to pull out the sword. A real warrior, a master warrior, knows when to sit back and understand first how they feel about this situation. Am I being triggered into a battle because of an emotional response? Well, that is one way any warrior will lose. Let me just see how I feel about this, and then maybe get past my feelings and maybe let some negative emotions from the past go so they don't drive my future. There may be tears, Aries. There may be a lot of frustrations about your past. But again, know that what Mars wants to do is always win. And the win here, the trophy, the prize comes when you're able to sit right back into your emotions again and say, I feel that I'm doing okay in my life. I feel confident. I feel ready for my future. I feel I can let go of some of these fears. I feel that to be a whole person, a really integrated person, then I shouldn't be carrying some of those old fears from my past. I shouldn't think back to my teens or early 20s and cringe every time I think of some of the shit that I've done. I'm going to own that. And if anybody brings that up and says, oh, do you remember the time that you were always drunk? Do you remember the time that you were always a failure? Do you remember the time where you were this, that, or the other, or where you hadn't got your shit together? You can say, yeah, I remember that. But here's what I don't remember. I don't remember telling you that you could bring this shit up over and over again. I don't remember telling you that you could kind of use that against me as I'm trying to make way in my future. I don't remember giving you permission to come back into my life to try to make me feel bad. That's one memory I don't seem to have here. Are you trying to create a new memory? Because that's not going to work for me. I own my past. I've learned from that. I've grown from that. I've grown from it. Can you get past it? Can you get past my mistakes? Because I have. So there's a lot of that kind of energy, Aries. Owning some of the things that you may have been holding negatively in your past. Okay? But let's not forget, there could be a great amount of pleasure here too. In the 4th house, you could be really putting a lot of energy into your home, into moving home, decorating your home, getting your tribe around you, doing great things with your family, hosting a dinner or a lunch, at home and feeling really nice. You know that real nice feeling you get when everybody that you love is around you and you feel like you're all wrapped up and cozy? That's the energy too. Good food, good feeling, thinking about the old times, feeling bonded to people, because the fourth house is a watery house. And water, sometimes we think of the sea, the ocean, but it's really liquid. And glue is liquid. Glue is what binds us together to other people. And that's what you'll get a great sense of happiness from if you focus on that. Focus on kind of being glued and bonded to the ones that you really, really do love, to the ones that matter to you, and to the ones that are your tribe, and to the ones that trigger you. Well, maybe it's time to let them go a little bit, even if it is family. Even if you can't let them go, at least let their negative influence go. And again, that's how Mars, the master strategist, wins. Okay, so that's, we're talking about water, water, water. Very fourth house energy, the Queen of Cups pops out there. So that's the vibe, standing up against your fears, standing up for yourself when you're triggered, standing up for yourself against manipulators, but in such an intelligent way that you're not baited, that you're not drawn into a useless argument that does nothing for you, but instead learning from it, learning that you can rise above it. Yeah, the King of Fire comes out there, the Page of Cups, and the last card, the 10 of Wands. So Aries, that's the vibe, that's the vibe. Now, let's go over here, ta-da, to your big grand overview. Now, there has been tricky business. You felt that somebody tried to pull the wool over your eyes. Somebody has been a bit deceptive. I think you felt somebody was playing you, and unnecessarily so. I think that's where a lot of the confusion came from. You're kind of saying, but I care for you. If you just asked me, I would have done it. If you just explained it to me, I would have been there for you. If you just told me that that's how you were feeling, I would have listened. I would have understood. Believe me, I would have. But instead you wanted to go all around the garden and try to come at me from different angles. You just couldn't come straight out with it. And that's what caused the confusion between us. Just be straight, just be direct, just be honest. And then you won't have to hear me roar. You know, every time you're sneaky or try to manipulate me or fool me, I'll figure this shit out. I mean, who do you think you're messing with? Who do you think you're playing with? I will figure it out. My instincts are very sharp for shit like this, you know? So you've annoyed me by making me feel that you couldn't come straight to me and tell me something, that you couldn't just trust me enough to let me know. Instead, you went behind my back, or you went the weird way around. And if anything is going to piss me off, that will. That will. And I feel hurt here too, Aries. I feel hurt that you're so straight with these people, be it your partner, your friend, whoever it was, your family member. You're always so straight with them. Even if at times you stand back and let them do their own thing, you're ultimately always straight and direct. And it's the disappointment, I think, for you that came when you realized that they weren't playing as direct and straight as you were. And there's a kind of a feeling of, do I have to keep looking over my shoulder now at your behavior? Do I have to always sit and ask questions about whether I can trust you? Do I always have to sit and wonder, what are you really thinking behind the way you're behaving? That's not fair. Our relationship shouldn't be like that. So we need to change tack here. We need to go right back to basics if this relationship is going to be saved, friendship, partnership, whatever. We need to bring it right back down to the bare minimum and see how we can do this again. I do feel, Aries, I strongly feel that somebody tried to take something from you also. And I think it was very cruel. They did it cruelly and deliberately. And I think they were very shocked when you caught them out. When you pointed at them and said, I see what you're doing. I think that they absolutely crumbled. I think they died inside. And I think they now have big questions about, why do I do this? Why do I do this? I think they're second guessing themselves. But I don't know if they can really fix some model of behavior that they have, to be quite honest with you, Aries, because with the full moon in Scorpio in the 8th house, I think that they right now are still trying to figure out how to re-strategize to get their way over you. So I think you might have one extra little moment where you have to make it super clear to them, stop with the frickin' game plays, stop. I don't appreciate it and it doesn't work for me. Ask me straight. Tell me how you feel straight. Give it to me out in the open. Lose all the explanation and just frickin' tell me. Show me. It'll be all easier then. But I don't know if they can do it. I don't, or at least Aries, I think it will take a lot of work and patience on your part to endure the process that they might be going through. I think that at times they can be very cold. I wonder if they do have sun, moon or ascendant in an air sign, Libra, Aquarius or Gemini. They're not stupid, they're not fools, but I think that they're very used to approaching life and relationships in particular from a very, I'll figure them out. I know what to say to them. I know what to do with them. I'll get them thinking the way I think. I'll give an argument that they can't argue with. But it's not washing with you at all, particularly with Mars and Gemini in the 3rd house. You're seeing right through it. You're seeing right through it. Strong air energy here. But I think the thing that they're doing, really, Aries, you should be kind of in a way, and I know this might sound weird, you should be grateful to them. Because in Taurus season, as you're building your confidence, their bad behavior is giving you actually more confidence to hold your ground and stand up for yourself, which is something you haven't done for quite a while. And there may have been with certain people the feeling of, they always seem to know how to have the last word. They always seem to know how to talk me down, maybe even make me feel dumb. So it's probably not worth getting into an argument with them. And I think that's part of what they do. I think they use words, and I think that they use twisted logic to get people in their lives to do their bidding, or to see things the way they want it to be seen. But again, why I'm saying be grateful to them is because it drives you even further, Aries. They are a catalyst to drive you into this feeling of, I will not back down, even now more than ever. Now that I'm even seeing the bigger truths here, I will not back down. I will continue to ignore their bad behavior, and I will only reward them if they come to me with honest, straight, direct, meaningful communication. Anything around and shady and shit like that, I'll ignore it. And I feel confident to ignore it. And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Like you, stronger in Taurus season. Stronger, stronger, stronger. To look back over the first 2 cards, if you see there, she's looking back over it and she's saying, I'm much bigger than this. I'm holding my own ground here. I have enough going on in myself to not need maybe certain people in my life who always try to bring me down. I'm above it. It's this thing, Aries, of I am above it. Taurus season is definitely helping you, and it could be a Taurus, a Capricorn or a Virgo who's also giving you some extra support. Even not directly, you could be looking at a person who has earth energy in their life and saying, they have it right. See that Taurus person? They really have it all figured out. I'm going to I'm going to watch what they do, because nobody ever pushes them around. Nobody ever tries to fool them. They never give in. They never cave to other people's demands. Now, people call them stubborn, but I see the sense in that, because in the end, they ultimately only do what they want to do, and isn't that really the point? So you're healing a lot here. She's the great healer. Now, some of you on a literal level could be looking for healing. Taurus energy, Taurus are great spiritual healers. But physical healers, second house has a lot to do with the body. So a lot of you could be going to get physiotherapy, some sort of physical treatment, which hopefully, yeah, will make your body feel energized again. Could be that you're embracing new exercise ideas, even just getting back with Taurus season, who loves the senses, doing things just out of a sense of pleasure, getting back to doing walks, just going out for a walk, doing a jog, doing a little meditation, a bit of yoga, or just something, dance, putting on your music, you know, and just letting it all hang out in the evening with a glass of wine, whatever, who cares? But just doing something that gets that body moving, that makes you feel good. It's all good and positive energy for you. And I think you need it, because I feel that what you're letting go of, very much so this month, is the communication that was all wrong. And again, Aries, I'm feeling that, you know what I feel like too? I feel that you have people, one person, two people, at least two people around you who seem to be kind of know-it-alls when it comes to what you should be doing with your life, when it comes to how you should be running your life, when it comes to maybe even your health. You shouldn't eat that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't be that. Now, maybe there is wisdom in taking care of your health, of course, but I just get the feeling, Aries, that it's this thing of somebody who knows it all but actually knows nothing, is trying to make you feel a certain way. Now here, let me get into that, because that seems to be something. Somebody who is a know-it-all, who might want to put a bit of fear into you. They might be saying, oh, I wouldn't do that. See, with your money, I wouldn't do that with your money. You in your business, your career, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I wouldn't do that. And you can, wouldn't you? You wouldn't do that? No? Oh, and then fear sits in. Stop, and look at the person or people who are saying, I wouldn't do that. And look and say, well, are they actually good examples of this? If they are a multi-millionaire running a huge business at the top CEO, then I'll listen to them. But if they are just some idiot running around trying to pay bills like everybody else, like the rest of us, and they're saying, I wouldn't do that, then you're saying, why don't you just take care of your own life and let me get on with mine? Unless you actually know what you're talking about, and unless I can see the evidence of this fear that you're trying to put into me about money or my health or something, unless you can prove that you're living that, then stop trying to put your fears into me. So there's a little bit of that there, okay? I think for some of you there's something more going on there. I get the feeling that there could be somebody who's a little bit poisonous in your environment. Have to be straight with your Aries. I don't know, is it your partner or is it a friend? I don't know if it's your partner, but if it's somebody that you're around a lot, and they seem to have some poisonous communication, but they're very convincing. But I don't trust them. I don't trust their energy for some of you now. So just be wary, be watchful. And the way through this is always hold your ground, stand back, don't be triggered. And if they try to get you to do things for them, I keep feeling there's a manipulator around you trying to get you to do stuff for them. And I think you've already committed to doing something for them. And there's the energy of, I'll do this one last thing for them, and then after that, no more. Because I see that they're users in some cases. Users. And poisonous at that. But this is revealed. This is truth revealed. So I think that's what's going on. Mid-month, very, very strong. You will see these little poison chalice bearers coming out from the woodwork. They'll be exposed. And because of that, you're able to go right the hell away from them. You'll say, now that I've seen the real workings of you, I am out of here. It makes no sense to stick around, hanging around you anymore, being in this situation, being in this relationship even. Makes no sense anymore. I'd be a fool if I stuck around with that negative, poison, manipulative energy. This is strong, Aries. This is strong. It's female energy, but that doesn't mean it's a female. It could be male or female, but it's very strong. Somebody who doesn't come right out with it, but instead prefers to manipulate and to do the strategizing behind the scenes. You'll know it. I think they have a few people doing it. They've a few people gathered around them doing their bidding. And I think you've unfortunately fallen into that trap somewhere along the line. But the truth is coming out. It will be seen. Now, Aries, I will say this. For some of you, this is getting quite deep, but I will go there. For some of you, I think that behind the scenes, somebody has been working against you. And this is going to be revealed, and it will be shown, and it will be highlighted. You'll be the first to see it. And as soon as you see it, you'll be gone. Somebody who has been working against you, and on a very extreme level. And I'm not trying to say this to frighten anybody, but I will go there. On a very extreme level. So maybe only a very small percentage of you watching this video, may not be you, okay? But somebody could even be taking something from you, plotting to take something from you, plotting to take a friendship, a partnership, plotting to take your workspace from you, plotting to take money from you. And again, don't be afraid, Aries, because I believe that before they can actually do what they want to do, I think you'll see it. I think it will be exposed, because I see you saying, I'm getting the hell away from this. This is way too shady and shitty for me. So they'll get caught out. Just know that they will get caught out. Because Aries, you're so protected and guarded. I always say that this is the first month we didn't have the Queen of Swords. Instead we have another Queen, which I like. But you're always so protected and guarded that I feel that it's not going to happen that way for you. You've got the North Node in the 4th house and Mars in the 4th house, where you're very protected emotionally. I think that's your saving grace here. But here we have this. When you see what's been going on, some of the emotional darkness brought by certain people, you'll step out of it. You'll come out of that dark. See, he's coming out of the shadow, and he's still just stepping out. That's why he's all just in black there. He's still a little bit in the shadow, but he's stepping out into the light, into the day, rubbing his eyes down and saying, oh my God, really? I was in the dark for too long, surrounding myself with these people, these situations, and I just see a whole new way to go. I've moved on, and there are better people out there. There are better opportunities, better ways to make money. There are other people out there who will give me love in a way that's cleaner, purer, more honest, more decent, and it has more value. In a season where it's all about value for you, Aries, look, he's holding up the 7. 7 is very Venus. Venus goes into Taurus in the 2nd house on May 15th. I really think May 15th is a time where you really get to step out and say, it's got to be clean from now on. My business, my life, my friendships, the lover that I have, my approach to everything. I'm going to dream bigger, and I'm going to just suddenly see that I'm worth more. Why did I stay in that shady, shitty place? All I had to do was see what was going on. I had to see it with my own eyes. I trusted them. I feel you saying that, but I trusted them. They were family. They were my tribe. They were people in my soul. I trusted them. But they're not allowed in there anymore. I am going to just open that door and kick them out of my Aries party, because they're not welcome in that VIP section anymore. Really, they're not. I'm going out there and I'm going to find the real deal, the real people, the real love, the real tribe, the ones who really matter. Valuable people, valuable situations. And this will help me to just feel like I'm over the worst of something. Very much. You're cleaning out your inner space. There might be a great shift here, Aries, of who you value and what you value. Some people will be shifted and thrown out. You'll be calling the bouncers to pull them out of your sacred private soul space, because they don't deserve to be there anymore. And I mean, they've got to be pulled and dragged out of that club, really, because this is your VIP space. Only the best are allowed in there. And it'll take a bit of pushing and shoving. It will. I see that mid-month. It'll get difficult for you in that sense to see this. But one last big push will get them all out of your private, beautiful space so that you can bring a better quality of person in there. There is a cull. There is a purge. I really see that. But now here we have the Water Queen beside the Fire King. This is the one who sits and waits for the real loves, the mature loves to come to her. She sits on the shore and says, I want the real people in my life. I want the ones who have some depth of feeling, who are honest, who are mature, the ones who aren't always falling around in some sort of drama or crisis, the ones who aren't always trying to think their way through their feelings. I want the ones who can feel their way through life, who actually are deep emotional feelers, who get it, And I think for a great many of you, those people who are great deep feelers for you are the fire signs. It could be a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, who you might feel that you're bringing those people in from your shore, as you're calling down into your heart, into your soul, and saying, you know, I need this to happen. I need this to be cleaned. I need new people in my life. And it's the fire signs who answer your call. Because fire will always stand shoulder to shoulder. The real good fire signs will always be there for another fire sign. There's a great brotherhood, sisterhood between the fire signs. You do stand up for each other. And I think that you've got a fiery Sun, Moon, or Ascendant towards the end of the month that really comes and stands up beside you and kind of acts as some, let's do this, let's find you new love, let's find you a new way to approach your life, let's navigate together this family mess or this thing that's going on. Let's get optimistic about it and let's build each other up. So you are being built up by somebody very positive towards the end of the month. And you know, here's the energy of people coming. It's two things. I'm going to go with the first thing. You could hear great news about some work thing that you're doing as you're holding your ground and standing up for yourself. You could get some great news about work. So that's a very, very good thing. But in keeping with the thread of what I'm talking about here, I see that towards the end of the month, like we discussed earlier, there might be that little bit of a gossip or a little bit of challenge. You might hear news that makes you feel like, oh my God, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's again somebody luring you back, somebody who's very hard work, and they might be trying to lure you back into the fold. And I think, Aries, this is the real moment, make or break time towards the end of the month, where you say, look, you're trying to lure me back, you've got a problem, you've got a crisis, I will help one last time. After that, it's finished. I'm not taking on your hard work. Why don't you do the work? Don't have me a fool doing all your hard work. So you're standing up for yourself. I really love that, Aries. Keep bold, keep confident, keep holding. Sorry, Aries, bloody camera. But I was just saying, keep bold, keep confident, and keep holding your ground. And keep reminding yourself that whatever challenges that you're met with this month, you're very, again, as always, you're very protected. It will be revealed to you, I think, before anybody has a chance to kind of bring your newfound confidence down. So they're not going to do it. They're not going to get away with it, Aries. It'll just be water off a duck's back to you. So my love, I'm going to leave it at that. And as you know, to get into the real nitty gritty of the month, because this of course is just the general landscape, come to the Vimeo readings, Vimeo readings, the deep read, all linked down there below, where we go into the themes and topics specifically to do with love, for those of you in a relationship, for the singles, to find out what love energy is going on out there, for your money and your career in Taurus season. It'd be interesting to find out what's going on there, for family, friends, and for anything else that might come up. We'll get right stuck into it, Aries, in the Vimeo readings, the deep read, all linked down there below. Do come along and we'll figure it all out, Aries. And my beauty, I really wish you continued strength, continued courage, and continued growth in everything that you do. And as always, I'm going to leave you with all my love and a great big kiss from me to you. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.